Hey everyone, Screaming Geek Media here. Today we're going to talk about the 4K of basket case. But before we get into that, if you like physical media, if you like these 4Ks, Blu-rays, even DVDs, if you like home theater, just movies in general, check out my other videos on my channel because I do these reviews, I do discussions, collection updates, unboxings. Check that stuff out. Hit the like button, subscribe, and turn your bell notifications on. So let's jump into the basket case 4K here. This is a classic, 80s low budget horror movie. And see if I can get these names right. You got Kevin Van Hentendrick. I don't know if that's right or butchered it. I'm good at butchering names. We got Terry Susan Smith, Beverly Bonner, directed by Frank Henenlotter. Came out in 1982. Basically, the movie revolves around this guy, Dwayne Bradley, and he shows up in New York City. He's carrying around this big basket, like a picnic basket, made of wicker. Yeah, no one knows what's going on. And basically you learn that in the basket is actually his brother, who's a deformed conjoined twin that was separated when he was just a kid. Basically, it's all about him and his the brother's name is Belial, who actually survived the surgery when he was removed. He was just left for dead, but he survived. And so basically, it revolves around them setting out and taking out revenge on the doctors that separated them. It's it's a fun movie. Definitely, you have to be in the mindset of liking these old low budget movies. The bad acting and the performances aren't that great, but it's filled with the blood and gore's got it in there. It's a lot of fun. I have not watched this since VHS. I watched this all the time back in the day. I never had this on DVD or Blu-ray, so when they announced it was coming out on 4K, I was like, man, I really want to get this. And I still, even after all these years, sometimes tastes change and things don't hold up, but if you liked this movie back then, it's you'll still like it now. It still holds up in my opinion. Now, before getting into the actual video, here's a couple shots from the actual messages that you get at the beginning before the film actually starts. Talking about being presented by the Museum of Modern Art and all that. How they're dedicated to the preservation of movies. So I thought that was pretty cool to include that. Because, this is all about film preservation. So I'm glad that, these companies, there's organizations out there that are pushing for film restoration and preservation. Screw streaming. We need to preserve these movies. So that was pretty cool to see. Now, this 4K comes from Arrow, just came out this week. The movie was filmed originally in 16 millimeter, finished with the HDR10 and Dolby Vision. It is a nice, solid presentation overall. But keep in mind, because it was filmed on such a low-grade film stock, it is not going to be clean. If you don't like grain, you're probably not going to like this. You have to be appreciative of a grain structure because this has a very heavy grain. But that being said, the details are there. It looks very rich. Has some great textures. Even in the beginning, when the one doctor dies, there's shot in a basement of a close-up of the electrical panel. You can see the grit and grud, the textures of it. Looks very cool. And a cheap ass of wallpapers, textures inside inside the house. And throughout the film, the textures really pop on this. Looks very nice. Has that raw, gritty look because of the film grain. Some nice detail on Dwayne near the end when Belial's off doing something, and Dwayne's having the nightmare because he's telekinetically attached to Belial. So he wakes up and you just see him, he's sweating. You can see the beads of sweat on him. That looks pretty cool. I'm sure that probably did not show up on old VHS. Pops of color, really nice saturated in this. So once you get past the heavy grain, this is a very impressive outing here from Arrow. Now, this does not come with a Blu-ray. As I said, I did not own a Blu-ray, so there's no comparison with Blu-rays. So now let's talk about the audio track here. Basically, we got the original mono track LPCM, and there's not a whole lot to say. I mean, when you talk about old movies and being done with mono, not being redone at all, it definitely has a dated sound. It kind of takes, at least for me, in my opinion, because I like the surround sound. I like hearing things coming from different speakers. So to have something playing just from one center speaker in front of you, it just takes me a little while to adjust to it and where I kind of forget about it. But besides that, it is a good, solid track. Clear dialogue, the sound effects. But, it's just nothing to write home about. It's good. It's not bad. There's no hissing or any distortion at all. It's just very clear. It's very well done. Now for the packaging here. Now, I will say Ken from over Mid-Level Media, he did a review of this recently, and he talked about the slipcover having like a velvety feel. And I thought, I was like, what, are you fucking nuts? What the hell are you talking about? And I get it, and it does. It's really weird. It's got this weird, it does have like this kind of a weird velvet texture to it. And it's kind of hard to explain, but you just have to get it for yourself, and it is pretty cool. And so it has a nice spot embossing on it. It's a very cool slip cover, and one I will not throw away. I will hold on to this. I'll take this out. And we got the cool artwork on it. And of course, being Arrow UK, it's got I hate the thick case, especially for one disc. And it does have a reversible cover art. So that's a regular one, and then you got some of our other older artwork here. I'll check this stuff out. We have just a little advertisement card that you normally get from Arrow. And you've got a little booklet here. And there's Belial on the back. And it's got a whole bunch of stuff. Pictures, stuff about the movie, history. So some pretty cool stuff here. Let's see how many pages. This is actually, there's even a little comic strip in here. Kind of pretty cool. So it's got about 27 pages here. And then we have the fold-out poster. Actually, it's double-sided. That's the one side, like the front cover. And there's the other side. And of course, we got some nice artwork on the disc itself. Nothing generic. So they did a really good job here. Now for the bonus features here, we've got quite a bit. We got a couple audio commentaries. One with director Frank Henenlotter and Kevin Van Hentenryck. And the other one actually says archival audio commentary with cast and crew. So the other commentary might be new. I'm not sure if it's actually that old, or I'm not sure. The rest of the stuff, we have a whole bunch of featurettes. Basket Case 3.5, an interview with Dwayne Bradley. Me and the Bradley Boys. A brief interview with director Frank Henenlotter. Seeing Double, the Basket Case Twins. Blood Basket and Beyond. The Latvian Connection, Belial Goes to the Drive-In, Basket Case MOMA, which is the Museum of Modern Art, What's in the Basket, In Search of Hotel Broslin, The Frisian of Fission, Basket Case Outtakes, The Slash of the Knife, Belial's Dream, Image Galleries, Trailers, TV spots, and radio spots. So a lot of stuff here. The case doesn't say what's new. A lot of times they usually do, so I don't know if this was all ported over from the previous Blu-ray release, since I didn't have that. Comment below if you actually know if there's any differences with the bonus features. But yeah, that's all the bonus features here. So to wrap it up, this is a great release from Arrow. Great classic, 80s horror movie. I would recommend picking this up because, this is a brand new 4K scan of those original negatives. And just as long as you're someone that appreciates the film grain and knows, that it's not a grain hater. Once you get past that, this is phenomenal. I mean, it really looked good. If you haven't seen the movie, you have to have an open mind. If you like, those old low-budget horror movies, I think you're really going to like it. At the time, this was really cool, something different. It's a lot of fun. It's got some funny moments in it. So right now, this is selling for $44 on Amazon. I just checked this morning. Back during the pre-order, it was up to around $50. I didn't want to spend the $50, so I ordered mine through Arrow. It was like I think it was like $35, and with the shipping and tax, it worked out to be about the same as what it was with Diabolic. It was right around I forget what it was, $42, $43, somewhere in there. But I would recommend picking this up. It is a really nice addition to the collection. So that pretty much does it for my look at the 4K version of Basket Case from Arrow. Please check out my other videos on my channel. Like, subscribe, turn your bell notifications on. Comment below, let me know what you think. If you've seen this movie, thinking about picking up the 4K, I would recommend it. And we'll see you soon. Geek out.